Hi, my name is Bob McGinnis, and I help businesses with a common problem: how to turn more of their website visitors into actual clients and customers. I've helped all kinds of businesses generate more revenue, including universities, an aquaculture firm, a cosmetics company, a consulting firm, a media brokerage firm, and more. If you're finding you're spending a lot of time and money getting people to your site only to find that they don't do what you're hoping they do when they get there, I'm going to show you why that's happening and some of the specific things that I do and you might consider doing to drive significantly more revenue. I'm going to talk about three things. How to stop wasting advertising dollars, meaning how do you get all the people you're spending money on, the ones that you're driving to your website via advertising and other means, how do you get more of them doing the things that you want? Typically, convert them, that is, getting them to tell you exactly who they are before they leave your site and disappear forever. And finally, how do you get them to become clients and customers? I'm going to show you how to do this in a very overly simplified explanation, but this should give you a really good idea of how I help my clients solve this problem. So let's say this is your website. You spent a lot of time building it. You've invested a lot of money and time driving people to it, so people visit it. They bounce around. They look at your design section. They look at your gallery. They look at about your business. They read your blog. Maybe if you're lucky, they go to your Contact Us page and hand over their information, or sign up for a newsletter or download a brochure, maybe. But what about all those people, the vast majority of visitors who don't do any of that? These are the people who, for a brief moment, the people who come to your site, they have a problem, they have a need or a challenge or a goal or a pain, and they're considering you, and we don't want to lose them because that's just wasting the advertising dollars and all the effort that you put into getting them there. Because the reality is, we all get distracted when bouncing around the web, and even when we have the interest, we often leave a site and never return. It's just human nature. So how do we get more people staying on your site and turn them into clients? Well, let's look at your website as part of your larger sales and marketing process. It probably goes something like this. You have all these top-of-funnel marketing efforts that you're investing in to get people to your site, which is shown on the left here. Maybe you've built a mailing list or have bought one. You're spending money on advertising, pay-per-click, social media, search engine optimization, search engine marketing. That's the easy part. Some brands spend a lot of time and money on getting people to their site. This site, for example, is buying advertising from 26 different sources. And sure, some visitors contact you or fill out a form. You call them, maybe email them. Maybe you set up a drip campaign, right? A series of emails you start sending to them, and hopefully you sell them and turn them into customers. So that's the typical progression. But what do you do when not enough people are contacting you? When not enough visitors are turning into clients and customers? Most companies look here. They look at their advertising. They look at why aren't more people clicking on the ads? Why aren't more people calling and emailing and filling out forms from those ads? Are our ads attracting the wrong audience? Are we on the wrong platform? Should we pay less maybe? Are we paying too much? Should we change vendors? Is there fraud involved? Are we buying a lower grade of media? A lot of people don't know that there are different grades of media that you're buying. Are we spending too much, too little? Usually they're focusing on that. Sometimes they take a look at their website and say, well, maybe it's not sending the right message. Maybe it's too big or confusing or too little, or maybe we should be pushing harder. Sometimes they question if the sales staff could be more effective. But typically, those aren't where the areas the problems are. There could be opportunities to improve those areas, but here's typically where the much bigger opportunities are. First of all, most people who visit your site simply aren't ready to hand over their information. Not for a brochure, not for a newsletter even, not for a salesperson to contact them. In fact, studies show that a typical prospect won't be ready to talk to a salesperson until they're 66 to 90% of the way through their buying journey. So that's a real bottleneck if those visitors you're driving to your site don't want to identify themselves before they leave forever in most cases. So we need to fix that. The second problem is that even for those visitors that do hand over their information, every visitor that comes to your site is likely in a different stage of their buying journey. So the odds are low that a general drip campaign sent to everyone in sequence will be providing them with the precise information they need at the right time to get them to the next stage. So that's a huge bottleneck too. Again, significantly reducing the results from your investment and hard work even more. And a third problem is that even the prospects who you are able to successfully engage with your emails, your sales and marketing department typically doesn't know how they're engaging with your website and where their interests lie, other than which emails they opened and what they clicked on. So your staff is flying blind, and it doesn't have to be that way. So to solve these problems, you need to put things in place so you can identify more leads visiting your site, get as many of those people you're spending money on to come to your site to show themselves. You need to figure out which of these leads are the right ones and get them ready to buy, and provide the sales staff with insights they need to successfully sell and close them. So let's start with how to create more and higher quality leads for your staff. The key here is to think about the various stages your target customers are going through as they move through their buying journey, and combine these behaviors with some really cool technology. Just to show you what I mean about their buying journey, let's say you're about to buy a car. You suddenly realize you're having twins and you need a bigger car. You're first at inertia, right? You're living in the status quo, and then this event changes your life. There's a disruption, and now you have this awareness that I need a car, and you're trying to just define the problem. How much can I afford? What's involved in actually buying a car these days? And once you do that, you move into a different phase, the consideration phase. What kind of car should I get? What are the things that I should be looking for? How many seats do I need? Safety, is that going to be an issue? Should I get a minivan? Should I get an SUV? Do I need additional space? Should I get video or Wi-Fi or lease or buy? And as you get further along in your buying journey, you start to narrow down the kind of cars you want, and you start to think about, okay, should I go with a Honda Odyssey or a Ford Transit? So your prospects are likely moving through similar stages of awareness, consideration, and decision. And so the trick is to map each visitor's specific buying stage, where they are in their own individual buying journey, map them to what you're sending them. Whether you're sending them certain kinds of informational emails, webinars, invitations, videos, ebooks, I can help with all those things, depending on whether they're at the top of the funnel, abbreviated TOFU for top of funnel, if they're in the awareness stage, or the middle of the funnel, the consideration stage, or the bottom of the funnel in the decision stage. And you do that by tracking them with cookies and watching their behaviors, their every move on your site, and giving them scores that help determine where they are in their buying journey and adjust the content they get accordingly. And it's all done automatically. In fact, we tell the system exactly what behaviors to look for to determine when a prospect is at the point when they're ready and willing to talk to a salesperson, and the salesperson gets notified automatically. And the salesperson can give feedback on the quality of these leads, which allows us to fine-tune the nurturing program even more. The same can be done with your advertising itself. Being able to trace back which ads are actually leading to the sale can itself save significant revenue and increase sales. And remember how I was talking about the sales staff flying blind? They'd be able to see every move a prospect would make on your site, where their interests lie, how often they're coming back, which any salesperson will tell you is like gold in terms of being able to know what to say to the prospect when they actually talk to them and how to best close them. But how do you get more of the visitors you're driving to your site to move through this process? Really, how do you get more of them to identify themselves so you can start this whole nurturing program? You need to give them something they find so valuable that they're willing to hand over their information to get it. Not an offer for a newsletter or brochure, but something that they need as they embark on their buying journey for your product or service. Often it's an ebook or a webinar, 10 ways to do this or that, the biggest mistakes people make when choosing some sort of a guide, something that's all about the customer's problems instead of all about you, something they'd almost be willing to pay for. And again, I can help you build that if you need help. So these are the three areas that usually produce the most growth. Identifying more of the leads that you're driving to your site, creating more and higher quality leads by nurturing them along their buying journey, and giving the sales staff more insights into their prospects and notifying them when a lead is ready to talk. And of course, knowing which top of funnel activities you're doing that are turning into sales so you can do more of those and less of the others. In fact, you might find your advertising itself will change based on the nurturing program that you've set up to help them through their buying journey. And if you have multiple target customers, you could even start adding different nurturing programs for each of them once you get the main one built out. And if it seems like a lot of work, it can be, but I can take care of all of this for you and set up an automated lead generation program that, once it's set up, just keeps running day and night, driving people to your sales staff, more of what we call marketing qualified leads, the high quality leads your salespeople are hungry for. This is called lead generation, marketing automation. And the mantra of good marketing automation is meet your prospects where they are in their own buying process and give them exactly the information they need at the right time. You'll end up nurturing them along their buying journey with content that they need and appreciate. You'll build a solid relationship with them along the way, and you and the system can watch them moving through the process, which gives you incredible insights. And when your salesperson reaches out, it'll be a welcome call, as if they're hearing from an old friend, someone they already trust who understands them. I hope this helps. If you think this might help your business, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks for watching.